What is up, guys? We are back, and this week I was actually over on itch.io looking for game jams and I came across one that actually looks really exciting. I'll drop it in the chat if you guys want to check it out. It has six days left. There are 6 days left in this game jam, so tonight we're gonna get started on making a game for this game jam. So let me just pull up the page I dropped in the chat just in case any of you guys want to participate, because it looks pretty cool. But we will just go over the jam, and then we'll come up with an idea and start developing. All right, so here is the jam. And what's really interesting about this jam, I've actually never seen a jam quite like this before, is basically you have, your standard game jam stuff, right? You got to make a game, you got a very short amount of time, etc., etc. But this one, you also submit alongside it a devlog or, so either a video or a blog or something about how you made the game, or maybe what you learned while you were making the game. So it kind of combines the make a game really fast and also teach other people how to make games, and it's got prizes and everything, and so it just seems like a really cool jam. So I definitely think as many people as possible should participate in it. That's about all I have to say on that topic. So let me just send a message in the Discords. Let's see. Alrighty. Okay, so there we go. So basically, we have a 3-step plan for tonight. Step 1, come up with an idea. Step 2, make the game. Step 3, upload the game. Okay, we might not actually get to uploading the game tonight because we might not finish it. If there's some stuff to polish up, I can do that afterward, because we do technically have 6 days, but it's pretty unlikely that there will be another stream, that I'll do another stream in those 6 days. So hopefully we can get at least most of the game done tonight. So yeah, with that being said, the theme of the game jam is only one inventory slot. So let's think about what we can do. What can we do with that? Only one inventory only one inventory slot. Interesting. Well, what we like to do when we don't have any ideas, what we usually do is we go to what is it now? ChatGPT.com. So that's one way to generate ideas. Let's see what is to be seen. Can we combine? No combining. Oh, there we go. Okay, give me an idea for a fun but simple game to be made in the Godot engine. Yo, happy win. Dude, that's crazy. You actually just hopped on. That's crazy. Dude, I have to say, Captain Coder, yeah, dude, I found out about you because of this game jam, but it actually looks like what you're doing is really cool. So, shout out Captain Coder. He's a Twitch streamer. He makes cool games. I don't know what else there is to say. So yeah, we need to we need to come up with an idea for this game jam. And we don't have, obviously, a lot of time to do it because we only have, we only have basically just tonight to do it. So let's just keep the randomness of the game jam going. Half the fun of the game jam is that you don't know what you're going to create and you have the random theme. So we're just going to pair a random theme with a random idea from ChatGPT and see what we can create. So we want a simple game because we have limited time. We're making it in the Godot engine because that way it's easier to publish it to itch.io because you can build it for the web. And we are going to follow the theme of only one inventory slot. So only one inventory slot. Perfect. Let's see what we can craft. You could be stranded on a deserted island, and so you have to manage resources and tools. Okay, I mean that's it's a bit stale, I would say, a bit like generic, but I mean only one inventory slot, like immediately that lends itself to the idea of conserving resources. You only have a very, you have to put something down, pick something else up in order to keep whatever goal you're going for. In order to keep that goal going, you have to actually only use one inventory slot. So I think that's immediately what comes to mind as far as that goes. So, here's an idea. What about an escape room? Because in an escape room you have these different, usually you have like a piece of paper and it has like a code on it. So then you enter that code into some lockbox, and then you get a key and you unlock this lock and stuff like that. So that could be interesting. Let's go ahead and create our project. Let's see, Game Jam, only one inventory slot. Let's just call it only one inventory slot. That should be unique enough. Of course, we want to throw this in the proper folder. Okay. And we probably want the compatibility rendering mode here, because this one, if you use compatibility, then Godot will just go ahead and be able to build it for the web right out of the box, which is really nice. Yeah, exactly. If you wanna throw it on the web, it's actually, Godot makes it super easy to do that. Even better than what Unity has, I think. And Unreal, I don't think, has web building options at all anymore. So definitely a win for Godot on that front. So if we're going to create an escape room, then what we need is, well, we need to design a room, obviously, because part of the feeling of an escape room, part of the interest of an escape room game is feeling immersed, right? So we want to make the player feel very much a part of the room that they're exploring. So we're going to need some assets to actually create that room with. So for example, Kenny.nl has great assets. I'm not sure if they're going to have exactly the kinds of stuff that we are looking for, but we can definitely look. This is one of my favorite sites because everything on here, if you can download it, it's completely free for you to use. So you don't have to worry about licensing at all. So that's awesome. These asset packs though, they feel, they may be a little bit too small for what we're going for, because they definitely make these very small little asset packs. So like you can see, for example, the city one, you got like 20 buildings. Okay, apparently you have 50. So maybe there's maybe that's 50. I don't know. But the asset packs on Kenny are a little bit smaller, so maybe we try somewhere else. We're doing this game jam on itch.io, so another great place you can go is itch.io. If you go to browse and then assets, filter by free, you got 30,000 assets. And then we can search through those and try to find something cool for our room. So where should we place this? Where would be an interesting room to escape from? Let's see. Maybe a dungeon's a little too ordinary, I would say. It could be outside. These outdoor asset packs are actually giving me that idea. An escape room is generally inside because it's a room, and that kind of just makes sense. But we could kind of flip expectations a little bit if we came up with a way for it to be outside, like if you were in a walled garden. That's actually, I think we might actually have something going here. And part of the nice thing about that is there's just the outdoors is very large. I don't know if you guys have been out there, but the outdoors is very large. Based on my limited experience with out there. So there's a lot of asset packs replicating that. And so if we can find a few that mesh together pretty well, then we'll be able to do that. And the game jam did specify you can use assets as long as you have a license to use them. You're good to go. And these assets have the appropriate licenses on itch.io. So we should be fine there. Okay, now we haven't technically specified whether we're planning on doing a 2D game or a 3D game. So we could, we could kind of flip-flop, go either way on that. But I'm kind of thinking 3D, just because often I feel like there's going to be a lot of 2D. Like 2D is easier, so when you're doing a game jam, a lot of people go 2D. I think we should go 3D, just so we can be more different. And this does look interesting, this one right here. Okay, apparently it's just fences. But hey, if we need fences, these are some good fences. So, you know, if you need fences, we got fences. Okay, let's see, what else? I think we can filter by 3D, actually, if we're sold on going full 3D. Okay, we can filter by low poly, because you can't be low poly in 2D, so... Okay, that's a little bit lackluster. We have a few things, but I think gardening is a little bit too limited. Maybe farming. Let's try that. Farming and low poly, 21 results. Okay, that's a bit better. We could have some barn type stuff in the background. I think that's kind of interesting. We have some very, very low poly animals, so that could be interesting. I'm not entirely sold on that. Ooh, this one looks interesting. And yeah, guys, one of the nice things about a site like itch.io is sometimes like I just went to look for gardening assets and then just randomly found stuff. You can't chat for some reason. I think you should be able to. Should be. Okay. So okay, awesome. Yeah, it's it's YouTube. They like to do weird stuff. Oh, Open Game. Yeah, guys, another good one is opengameart.org. This, guys, the UI is very off-putting. I get that. It looks terrible, but there are actually some really good things on here. And you could just go to browse. You can select what type. So we want 3D art, obviously. And then the nice thing is you can filter by license. So we probably want, some of these licenses I do not know, but we would like, CC0 is obviously the best case scenario. It means that you can do whatever you want with it. Basically, they're all free. Okay, so that's cool. So apparently all of these licenses are free for commercial use. So you actually don't have to worry about the licenses section. You could just search up, we are searching up farming, maybe just farm. And we can find some stuff. So yeah, for example, more fences. Apparently fences are very popular. But we have a chicken coop. That's nice. Let's see. It looks like another farm asset. Yeah, so guys, we've got already, after just like 10 minutes of searching, we've already got like an absolute ton of assets. So it's, yeah, the situation for free assets is excellent right now. This is my favorite thing so far. This one. I really like this one. This one looks really nice. The licenses you have to worry about are GPL. Okay, so if you basically the GPL license, if you make modifications to it, you make a derivative work from it, you have to keep the same license. Like the license says you must keep this license with all copies of the software. So you do have to be careful of that, because then if you make a game and you want to sell it, then I believe that gets in the way of you selling it because it's not the same license. So yeah, that's kind of unfortunate. Okay, let's see. Where did our asset go? We allegedly download. Okay, there we go. It's all in one FBX. Okay, that's a little bit weird, but let's open up Blender just because we'll be able to see what's going on a little bit better than if we just straight up import it into Godot. Let's throw this in here, and you have to do it through Blender's UI, of course. You can go to import FBX, and then you can select it like so, and then we can see what's up with it. I imagine we're too small for it. Here we go. Here's our assets. Okay, so another clarification. I mean, you guys can just read chat. You guys can just read chat. There's some clarifications on the GPL license. I'm not a lawyer, so I do not have experience with this. But yeah, definitely recommend looking into that. But okay, so you just can't do the specific asset without using the same license. So you can't. I mean, obviously you can't upload it somewhere else and then sell the exact same thing, because that's kind of messed up. So you shouldn't do that anyway, and it protects against you doing that. So that's definitely good. Okay, so all of the assets are kind of in one. They have them all in one puddle here, and then they have them separated out over there. But they did put them all in one FBX. So I guess we'll see how well Godot does with its FBX importer and see. Yeah, we'll see how it goes with trying to import that. I'm not entirely sure what Godot will do with it. But if we just make a new 3D scene, then we can try to import into here and see what we can create. So if you drag and drop it, you have to have this FBX to GLTF thing, which you can just download from here. I think I already have it somewhere, so we can probably just search for it. But it's literally just called FBX to GLTF, because GLTF is the file format that Godot likes. It's more universal, so you can have like GLTFs on the web and stuff like that, I believe. So that's why they like it better. So you can download that from that link there, or if you already have it, you can find it like so, and then they have the different versions. So like, even though I'm on Mac OS, they actually have one for that, so that's awesome. And yes, there we go. Okay, so with all that out of the way, let's see what we got in Godot. It's really cooking. Looks like you can chat now, so you should be good to go. I don't. Maybe they have like a setting where it's like you have to wait a minute after you join stream before you can chat. I don't know. They have a lot of weird settings. I don't see anything like that on the dashboard, but I could be mistaken. Yeah. They it's YouTube. They do what they want to do. But it does. Oh, it looks like it chopped it up for us, at least somewhat. At least it chopped out the textures for us. So it seems to have done. Let's see. What are we seeing? Yeah. So it chopped out the textures for us. For some reason, we have 2 copies. Not sure why. Then the question is, are we going to be able to chop up this farm scene or not? Let's see what is to be seen. Okay, we are very, very, very slow. Let's just move that. Okay, so yeah, so we have everything, but it's all in a puddle. So if we want it to actually be unique assets, then we're gonna have to run it through Blender and chop things out. Which is wonderful if we had all the time in the world, but we do have some kind of limited time. Oh, if you install 4.1, it has drag and drop support. Okay, guys, so apparently the only problem is Blender did actually add that, but I have too old of a version of Blender to do that, so I'll update Blender. But yeah, so this is a great asset pack, but it looks like we have to do some work, and if we have other options ready to go, we may also want to try one of these. By the way, if any of you guys are rich or have money, then I definitely recommend donating to these guys, because obviously they're very generous to put their work out for anyone to use. But I am not, so I will just download them. Just if you don't, it's not an example that you have to follow. That's all I'm trying to say. Okay, so interesting. So it looks like this one is much more chopped out, so we can just drag and drop it, throw these guys in, and then we may also need the texture, but it looks like what they've done is they've made it just basically like a color palette, and then these use that texture. So we may have to assign these to that texture, because they may not be assigned to that properly. Let's see, what does it look like in their photos? Let's see. So we have, yeah, but these are chopped up. So definitely very happy with that. We have some good looking assets in here. Well, they don't look great because we don't have any textures just yet, but we can get there. We can get there. Okay, so how are we going to add these textures? Oh, I think it's just on whatever YouTube's default settings are. So I don't know what the default settings do. But yeah, it's not like Discord does a really good job making it very granular. You can kind of set whatever permissions you want. YouTube doesn't do quite as good of a job at that. They don't have quite as much control as you might like. But yeah, we kind of have to work with what we got. But let's see. So far we have a bucket. We have that. We have a barn. We have some fence. We have a rake, a shovel. We have another bucket. Oh, that's this scene. That's the way you organize your files, guys, so you can pay attention. Okay, so we got like 3 background scenery elements, and then we got some smaller props as well, which we might use to, spice up the scene. So let's just rename some of these and then figure out the texturing for them. Some background music? Sure. Let's see what we can come up with. I believe that YouTube has music which they have protected so you don't get copyright struck. So we can just pull up some of that. You guys will have to let me know if it's, here. All right. We'll find something. Ooh, the thing with this is we may, here's what I'm looking at here. We got the YouTube audio library, which is all stuff that you won't get copyright stricken for, so that's awesome. But I'm not sure if it has like autoplay. So what we really need is something epic, to keep us excited. Okay, you can search by genre, I think. Let's see. Genre. Here we go. What are you guys thinking? Cinematic? I feel like this is a good we want it to just be some nice epic music to keep us, hyped. I'm not gonna lie, I would be a bit concerned by something on Spotify. I don't know. I'm pretty sure they would be more likely to target. Okay, this seems like it's gonna be a bit too loud. That is the one thing. I can't tell the blend, so you guys are gonna have to let me know what's a good amount of background music versus me. Because I can hear the music, but obviously I can't hear me, so I think, yeah, let's say somewhere around here is hopefully good. We'll see if it autoplays. Hopefully it autoplays. Let me know if it's too loud and you can't hear me. Because I can turn that down, or I can turn my mic up maybe a little bit. I don't know. I think it's close to the max. But there we go. So we have, let's see, we have a windmill. It's not really a windmill. It's whatever you call one of those things. I don't know. We're just going to call it a windmill. Water tower. And then, oh, it is a windmill. It's just not a wind turbine. That's what I was thinking of. Okay, so we have 3 kind of background assets, and we need to figure out how to get these textures on here. Because dragging and dropping isn't going to work. I thought I'd try just on the off chance, because you never know. Not hearing the music. Oh, well, that would be because I have my desktop audio turned off. Okay, that's definitely going to be too loud. Sorry about that. Okay, how does that sound? I had the computer audio muted, so it's unmuted now. Hopefully it's a good balance. To me, it looks like it's about 1/3 of my volume, but I'm going by sliders, so it's a little hard. Okay, yeah. So, and then hopefully autoplay. I think we'll know in about 3 minutes if we have autoplay. Okay, so we need to get these textures onto these thingies. Let's see if we can. There we go. So we just need to re-import them. Now that we have the texture, if we re-import them, then it'll bring in the excellent. So we just gotta re-import, and then I guess they're cloning the texture, one for each of them, but that's fine. We'll live with it. Okay, re-import's not moving. I'm just struggling to find it each time. Okay, there we go. So we've re-imported. All of them are re-imported. Excellent. And now they're actually looking pretty good. So we got 3 assets so far that we can make the background of our beautiful game that we're going to be crafting tonight. 3, yeah. So we got a farm. We got a farm in the background, and our current idea is to make an escape room. Although, I mean, we could also make a farming game. You never know. But we probably need a few more assets. Also, we're probably going to need a player character. Although it could be first person, because it's first person single player. You don't have to have so much of a player character for a game like this. These, I think, are... Let's see. Can we get away with those? My main concern is the textures, because these obviously have the very simple color palette textures. But these, I think, can get away with... I think these can get away with that. We might just have to modify the colors so they match. But these look reasonable. Oh, maybe it doesn't have... Maybe it doesn't have auto... Wait, where did it go? What happened to it? Oh, here it is. It should still be going. Okay, yeah, I don't know. I haven't tried this strat before, but I think it's autoplay, because we started, I think, on this song, and I think it autoplayed to this song, so that's definitely good. Okay, maybe up by half the current value. Okay, let's see. Oh yeah, I think it's the different songs. I think it's the mixing, because the last one is definitely louder, right? Maybe the songs just go up and down a lot. I don't know. Let's try that. It'll be better. It will be better next time. It'll be better next time, whenever next time is, because I can go back and listen to the stream and see how it seems reasonable. Let's see what seems reasonable. But yeah, I think some songs might be louder versus others quieter. I don't know. Hopefully that works. Yeah, there's nothing else here. This isn't YouTube Music also, because YouTube Music would have like regular songs that are like have people that care about them just getting used. This is like the YouTube Music songs that are for free for people to use without getting copyright struck. It's like a subcategory, I think. But we have 702 songs, so yeah, that should be more than enough for the background of a few streams. Okay, it sounds good. It's there, but not overpowering. Okay, awesome. That's perfect. Okay, so let's see. What else do we have? I don't think we need more tools. We already have 2 tools, and we probably won't have a lot of time for very granular things. We might need some more fences, though, because fences... Okay, thankfully they have a zip and not just Unity packages. Fences, we need to keep the player in. If it is to be an escape room, or even if it isn't, we need to keep the player in, usually speaking. And invisible walls are terrible, so fences are excellent. No. Okay. We do not need to... Guys, if you didn't know, guys, what that was is on Mac, you can't unzip .rar files by default, so you have to get a third-party tool. So it was just asking me if I wanted to update to the latest version. But yeah, that's kind of interesting. If you didn't know that, trivia fact of the day. Okay, let's see. Let's see how these are looking. Do they have texture? They do not have texture. Also, this is not a fence. It is a single board. I guess that is intentional. Oh, it's a DIY fence. You can make your own fence. I see. Okay, well that's an option. I mean, I'm still here on a Mac because I like Macs very much, but there are annoyances, so I'll be open about that. But in my mind, the benefits still outweigh the down cons. The pros outweigh the cons. There we go. Okay. So those fences were a little underwhelming because you have to make them yourself. What about, let's see, we already imported that. We have a chicken coop here as well, so that's something. But it is a Blender file, and it's also just a chicken coop. I'm not sure if it's worth the effort. Let's see. What else do we have? What we really need is some plants. We really need to just grab some plants because we have, I think we have some fences and stuff. So if we have some plants, then we should be in good shape. Let's see. This is just one. I don't love that. I would like a collection. I mean, maybe we could just do trees. Oh, here we go. Hang on. This looks good. This is more farming set. I mean, it's a very limited amount, but hey, it's free. So I'm liking this. Looks reasonable. And again, similar texture situation, so we should be able to get all of these. We really need to do some file management though, because this is getting to be a very big mess. So let's grab all of these, create a new folder. We'll call it, let's see, asset pack 1, because I don't remember what it was called, and then we'll put everything in there. Excellent. Okay. Then we'll create another one, asset pack 2, and we'll grab this second asset pack, and hopefully 2 asset packs is enough for us. Let's see. Okay, I think it, oh yeah, there we go. So guys, future note, this is kind of an obvious thing, but if you drag the FBXs and the texture in at the same time, then Godot likes it much better. So definitely do that. Okay, tree, excellent. That looks pretty, I'd say that's a pretty good match. It's not perfect because these kind of have like some kind of smoothing going on, but I think it's not too bad, especially for background assets. Yeah, I know. Sometimes I'm like making a project and I'm like, oh, I should probably restructure this, spend 2 hours making 1,000 folders in just the perfect way. Yeah, I don't recommend that, but it's enough to have two. I think 2 folders is enough for us for now, for all of our assets. Mud. Okay, that's a little bit weird. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe a rock. Rock could be good. Yeah, rock looks good. I'm just trying to get an idea of what we have here. Here we go, some terrain. Okay, it's literally just a plane with green texture on it, but hey, you gotta have something for your terrain. So that looks good. Okay, we already tried tomato. We got the tree. We can get the watering can and some other things too if we want for like props, but here are all of our larger major assets. So that's good as far as background scenery goes. I would say, you know, maybe we get a little more if we have time for decorating, but I would say we have some background stuff, so that's good. The question now is we need to actually make the meat of the game, right? Because this stuff is there to make you feel like you're in the world, but obviously there has to be the actual stuff that you're interacting with to try to escape this farm. And you can only hold one thing at a time as per the theme of the jam we're working on. So, yeah, what do we do? What do we do like right around the player? What are some puzzles that we can create with these simple asset packs? So this is stuff that we do more with the props. Like for example, maybe you take a bucket and you fill it up with water and then you do something with it. I don't know. Let's see. And also the theme is only 1 inventory slot, but like it's kind of cheap to just make it only 1 inventory slot, like as a thing that happens to be there. We don't want the only 1 inventory slot to be like a coincidence, right? That we only happen to have one. No, we want it to be part of the game. So we need there being only 1 inventory slot to have some amount of meaning. So you have to set something down in order to pick something else up. If you have to do that, then it means that the 1 inventory slot provides meaning. So that's, I think, what we want to do. So we have a bucket, and we have the idea of you maybe have it like a river, and then you go and you get some water. We also have a few tools that we could potentially use, right? Because we're trying to create more puzzle type of things. See, we have a fence in this asset pack too, so that's good. Okay, so what can we do with these tools that we have so far to create a puzzle? We already have that. We already have that. Okay, yeah, looks like we're pretty much just on these things. Okay, yeah, we have a bucket. Yeah, so we need to come up with a puzzle. Puzzle. Some way, some situation, and then a way to get out of it. So for example, the barn could be locked and you have to get a key to unlock the barn, right? That's kind of a generic escape room type of thing. But what are some like more farm specific things? Also, it sounds like we need a key, so we should look for a key. Let's see. I think we'll go back to itch.io because we were doing a pretty good job there. Browse assets. Key. Okay, we need a 3D key, low poly key. Let's see, low poly. There we go. Nothing. Okay, that's unfortunate. We also need some water because we're gonna fill the bucket up with it. With water. So I guess we'll just make a blue object and have it be a little puddle. Okay, so we need to come up with just a quick plan for the game. So basically, what I'm thinking right now is, okay, we also have that, and then we have that. How can we connect these things? So we have, okay, if we could get a horse. You can't get over the fence, but maybe the horse could get over the fence. Either the horse could get over the fence, so your goal is to get into the barn and get the horse out, and then the horse can jump over the fence and then you're free. Or the goal could be to climb on top of this thing, and then you can jump off of it. And so then the goal, there would be things in the way of you getting to this thing, which would be what the game is about. So yeah. Okay, yeah, so how about we have fences everywhere? Okay, it's really weird that the fence is so offset from this thing. Can we do something about that? Maybe if we just make an empty, just make an empty, and then we put the scene inside of it. Let's see, the node's right there. So we just move this over, put it like right there. Boop, now it's there. Okay. So if we just have some fences around, right? And then these fences, we should probably make it a little bit more interesting than just straight fences, but just to get the idea, let's just have some straight fences. Okay, I kind of wanted some more fences. A lot more fences. But the fences will be, you know, what's keeping the player in this area. And then, yeah, I think having the player just be, their goal be to climb on top of this and then jump over the fence. I think that's a reasonable objective that we could potentially do. Okay, so now we have some fences, and then we can just make a little corral. Excellent. Escape the farm. We also need to think of a banger name for it, because you know that helps with the, with the perception of the game. Having a good, solid name. Okay, that might have been a little bit too much of a zoom out. Okay, so we have we're gonna have the fences to pin the player in, and we're gonna have the water tower as the goal that you're trying to reach. So potentially also like the barn could be a step along the way. So I'm thinking maybe you unlock the barn and that lets you through. Okay, it's not a pass-through barn, but maybe you unlock the barn and we make it so that it is symmetrical. So you go through the barn and then you're in another part of the yard. I think that could work. Let's see. Okay, so we have the starting yard looking something like this. Let's rotate this a bit more. Then we grab our barn. And we're going to definitely want some of these off in the distance. So I'll put one over there just so we can duplicate it later on. But then we have a barn here, and we're going to have this be one of the objectives. Kind of the first, I'm thinking, well, maybe not the first, but like if we cut the game in half, halfway through, you're going to get to the barn. You're going to unlock the barn, and maybe you think that'll be it. It'll be over, but psych. It's actually going to take a bit more because you just go into another section of the yard, and then you have to do even more work. I might also be over scoping here. We may not actually be able to achieve all of this, but we'll see. We'll see. Okay, we want these fences to actually meet, so let's just get these rotated just right. Seems like it's achievable. Okay. And then we just move this one back. Perfect. Okay. So here we go. This is the start. You're in this, you're in your little fenced area here. You can walk around, but you can't get over the fence. And we have to come up with some things for you to do before you get into the barn. The barn is at least stage 1. Maybe, honestly, maybe we make the barn the ending if we don't have any more time. But for now, the idea is that the barn is stage 1. So what can you do? What are a couple of puzzles that we can create that'll take you from being just having nothing to getting all the way up to having a key and getting into the barn, something like that. So one thing could be we do have a shovel, so you could dig something. But that seems a little bit, I don't know, a little bit hard to communicate to the player. Like, I guess, I don't know. What about we have an X marks the spot somewhere, and then if you dig there, then you get something. That could work. Let's actually, here's an idea. Let's work backwards, right? So the goal is to have the barn. The goal right now is to get to the barn, right? So we'll start with getting to the barn, and to get to the barn, you need a key. And to get the key, you're going to dig at X marks the spot. So like if we want to go before that, then we'd be like, oh, well, the shovel's hidden, you have to get the shovel. But for now, we need, where's the shovel? This is the shovel. Shovel. And then this is the rake. Okay, so for now, the first thing we're going to implement is having a shovel, and then you're going to dig at the X marks the spot, and it'll give you a key. So we need to create an X marks the spot very handily. Let's see. I'm thinking we take a texture. Let's go to just like a drawing software, and then we delete everything. And then let's see. So we fill in the background with green, which is going to be our grass. I don't think we have, do we have anything that color matches the grass? No, I think it's just these are a different color. So we don't need to worry about exactly color matching the grass as long as this is good enough. And then we'll just draw an X on it. That looks a little bit too digital. How can we make it look a little bit more? I think maybe if we use a different like pen type or something, maybe crayon. There we go. That looks weird. It looks very weird. We need, maybe if it was brown, it's like dirt. It's like someone scratched into the grass to reveal the dirt. There we go. Let's try that. A little bit darker. We got some dirt. Excellent. And then we'll have our little X. There we go. What do you guys think? We could also add some other dirt patches, so it's not just this. I feel like the X is too big in the grand scheme of things. So let's make it a little bit smaller. Because we have a whole plane to texture. It's still a little bit too big. Let's zoom in a lot. Don't want it to be too perfect. Okay, so that's the X. And then all around we're gonna have splotches. So if we make the brush super big, then we could just add dirt splotches. Looks kind of like baseball dirt, right? Circle. I don't know. It is very pixelated. It looks a little, almost a little bit weird how much the edges fade off. But I think it works given our limited time frame. I think we'll have to go with it. All right. So just enough to give the idea that this is not the only dirt in existence. There is in fact dirt in other places. And I am not an artist, so yeah, we're just gonna scribble in a few places and then call it a day. And also hopefully maybe it's not too obvious at first glance that that's an X. Okay, it is kind of obvious, at least from our angle, but maybe it'll be less obvious from the other angle. Okay, then we can just export this. This is just a very simple image, and then we can just throw this on our plane is the idea. Import it. And then we might have to create a material to actually get it on the ground. Let's see. Visibility, transform, something. Process, I don't know. Maybe we have to do a different thing. Let's see. Plane. Not plane. What am I looking for, guys? Something 3D. Something. What do we have here? Maybe it is just a collision shape 3D and then we can select something. Okay, you know what? We're gonna make it a box. And then we're gonna, oh, that's a collision. Well, that's not what we want, I don't think. It's not visible. It doesn't have any visualization. What? Oops, I did not mean to delete that. Okay, we just accidentally deleted it. Okay, fold out those folders. Let's put it in the main folder since this is a very important aspect of our game. The dirt. The dirt. Okay, it's back. So that's something. It just doesn't want to move. Okay, now it moved. Okay, let's call this ground.jpg. All right, so now we just have to figure out how to actually get this on the ground, and then we will be able to actually create the system for it. Okay, so Node 3D, what options do we have here? It's not going to be one of those collision things. It might be an area 3D. Area. Let's try that. Where is it? Is it small? How do we tell it what shape it is? Okay, it's a cube. That's great. I just want to throw an image on a plane. How hard could it be? Story of game development life. The easy things are hard and the hard things are medium. I don't want to say easy. Let's see. Visual instance 3D. Okay, geometry, mesh. I don't think so. Decal. Wait, that actually might be it. That might be it. What have we got? Decal it up. Come on. No? You don't like it? So if we could actually do just a decal, then we could actually make it just the X and then put it on there, which would be excellent. Let's see, textures. Let's put this in here. It's not really gonna do anything on that. I don't know what ORM is. It's kind of weird. ORM. Ambient occlusion, roughness, and metal. Okay, that's kind of a pretty difficult goal. Just cram all those into one, but there you go. Okay, it's not currently actually decaling anything, even the tree. It's not decaling the tree. Let's see. How do we apply this? Albedo mix exactly one. Vertical fade. I don't think we want that. Distance fade. We don't want that. Coal mask. Sure. I don't know. Let's take a look. Godot decal. Using decals. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Decals are projected textures. Excellent, excellent. It happens in real time. No mesh generation. You can move it every frame and it wouldn't have much performance impact. Okay, we don't really care about that. Okay. Not a whole lot there that says why it wouldn't be appearing magically. Why would it not be appearing? Maybe if we try a different image, we could see if it's an image-specific problem or just an overall problem. It's just an overall problem, okay. How is it supposed to do its job? What does it even do exactly? I don't know. Like, I think it's basically just gonna be like kind of like a stamp, you know, if you slide it over, then it just kind of stamps the image onto the object that you're hovering over. But the question is why it wouldn't be appearing. Very odd. Maybe we look for another object. I don't know, I really like the idea of the decal. It seemed really promising. Aside from the decal, we have not much. Geometry instance 3D. Oh, hang on, sprite 3D. That actually could be it. We throw this as the sprite's texture. And then boom, it's here. It's beautiful. Okay, we did it. Good work, guys. We got it. We set this to -90, so it's flat, and then we just stretch it out to fill the whole world. Also, we want this plane. I'm not sure if this ground currently is a collision, so I don't think this has collision, so we don't need it. This will be our ground, and then we'll make something else for collision. Okay, scale, 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 scale. I would like to scale everything, please. I guess we'll just do it in the inspector. 2. I'm a little concerned the X is getting very big. I don't think we want it to be bigger than this. So what we might have to do is just duplicate this, and then there will just happen to be some other X's out there in the world. No one knows why, but there they are. And maybe we rotate it a bit because it's a little bit weird that it's the exact same thing. We could even do a diagonal. There we go, and we just duplicate these guys and rotate them around a bit just to make it look interesting. I got some different blob shapes, trying to find an angle that looks reasonable. I don't want to have a hole in the ground, that's a little bit too much. Let's see, grab this guy, move him a little bit more. Excellent, excellent, excellent. And grab both of these guys, rotate them around, maybe move them a bit. Put it like that. Okay, and then we just need another one of these guys. Duplicate it. Let's flip it around like this-ish. Put it there. That seems like it's going to be more than enough for our player right here to have enough. Maybe we can get some mountains in the background to cover the edges of the map, but that seems pretty, this seems like a pretty reasonable map size. And it doesn't even look that bad. I mean, it doesn't look that samey. It's not that clear that it's all one texture, I don't think. Okay, so let's stack all these grounds under this one ground. And then we still need to add a collision shape for that, because these are just sprites in a 3D environment. They don't have any collision, so no one can stand on them. We may also have Z fighting here, I'm not sure, but we'll get to that if we get to it. Okay. So we have the X marks the spot, a very large X marking the spot. And what we need to do is we need to add some code. We need to add an object that will allow you to, I don't know, like right click with when you're holding the shovel and shovel up a key. So let's do that. That's going to be quite a bit of work, because first we have to craft a player controller, then we have to craft being able to pick up a shovel, and then being able to use the shovel. So that's our job for tonight, pretty much. This might be a very short, very, very short game. Okay, so we need a player controller, and for that we need a player, which for the moment will be represented by a rock, because we don't have anything else to represent it by. So for the moment, the player, even if they don't know it, because maybe it's first person, they're going to be represented by basically a snowman, but made out of rocks. So yeah, this is the player. As you guys can see, pretty high fidelity stuff we've got going on here. And then let's see, let's create a new node 3D and name it. Okay, we actually might need to create a, let's see, character body 3D just to make it a little bit easier. We'll call this player, and we'll put our beautiful model inside of it, and then we'll move our beautiful model over to it, because we want our beautiful model to be centered on it. And boom, guys, we have a player. It is a very, very exciting looking player. This is him. So let's add a script, new script. We'll use GD script. We have a basic movement script already here out of the box, so that's awesome. We'll go ahead and call it player movement. Seems like a reasonable thing to call it. And yeah, we could just use this little template, so that's pretty nice. Okay. We probably want to add our own input settings, so let's go to, I think it's project settings, input map, and then add some input stuff. So we can add, let's see, new action, let's call it jump. I don't know, do we need jump? We might not. Let's add a new action, let's call it UI, let's see, not UI, I don't know. Why is it, oh, maybe user input? I don't know why they have UI there. Let's just create an action and call it left. And add, let's see, A. And then we also want to add the left arrow, so you never know, people might like both. Okay, and then let's create right. Add D. And then the right arrow. And guys, it's actually really easy to add stuff here. You literally just press whatever key you want. I assume if you have a gaming controller, it would work the same way. Let's see, forward. But yeah, you literally just press whatever key. So if I just press W, then it goes ahead and adds it. Or if I press up arrow, it goes ahead and adds that. So it's very nice. Backward, add S, K, add back arrow. Okay, yeah, so our goal is we're trying to make an escape room, except it's outside. The theme, we're working on a game jam, the Learn You a Game Jam. So basically you submit a game, and then alongside it, this is optional, but like kind of encouraged, you submit a like a devlog or a blog or something like that that talks about what you learned or teaches other people the stuff that you learned. So basically, it's a game jam, but also with a learning component. So what we're trying to make, and theme is only one inventory slot. So we're trying to make kind of a escape the room type of game, but it's outside on a farm. And this is our beautiful farm that we've created. And currently the player is a stack of rocks. But it might be first person, so that might not matter. Yeah. So we're just adding the user input. This is the user input template that Godot has built in. So we can just delete the jump because that's kind of pointless. Yeah, I think it's an interesting idea. We'll see how well we're able to craft it in the time that we have. Okay, so we have a left action, we have a right action, we have a forward action, and we have a backward action. And basically what it's going to do is we are creating... Oh, it looks like the input system actually has a function where you can just put in those 4 things and it'll actually just craft the input for you. So we actually have to do like basically nothing. The input system will go ahead and transform this into a vector 3. Actually, it'll transform it into a vector 2, and then we'll use the x-axis of that vector 2 for our left and right, and we'll use the up axis of that vector 2 for our forward and backward. Because obviously we don't need a vector 3 for movement since we just have this. It's 0. We don't need to move up and down. Okay. And that is, I think it. I think they've done what needs to be done. Let's see. No main scene has ever been defined. Let's select the current one. We don't have a camera, so that could be a slight issue. Also, we don't have a shape for the player. So let's add a collision shape 3D to our player. And we probably just want something like a capsule. Let's maybe move it over here. Not that one, that one. So they have shapes here. Yeah, I'm thinking capsule is a good popular type for the player shape because it has like that little rounded base. So basically if you have like a slope, then the rounded base will allow it to just kind of like walk up the slope. Or at least it'll seem like it's walking up the slope. In reality, it's sliding up the slope. But that is our player at the moment. We also need some ground for the player to stand on because these are just sprites, so the player can't currently stand on those. So we actually just need a very large... we need a static body 3D, which is basically the physics handling part, and then it needs a shape. So we create another collision shape, and this time we'll just create a box. So this box, if we pull the top down so it's level with the ground, and then we stretch out the sides like a lot. And stretch out these sides like a lot. Then it should be in good shape. What happened to... We might have stretched it out too much. Let me see. Did we go too big? What happened to our handles on those sides? Maybe we went too big. I am not sure. Let's try to make it large, but like still reasonable size. So we don't want to have performance issues just because we accidentally made it too big. Okay, so we stretch this out. We want the sides to come. That's a good side. That's, oh, we actually don't even need all that. We actually only need to cover the ground in this fenced in area because the player is going to be kept inside the fence. So we actually, the rest of the ground is just going to be fall throughable, but the player won't be out there unless they're hacking. So we should be okay. And then let's move this down. Let's see, let's level it up. Somewhere around there, I think. Okay, and then this static body 3D will just handle the physics part. So now our player should, if we put it a little above the ground, then it'll just fall down onto the ground. We still need a camera. So we'll add a camera. Let's take a look at the camera, preview it. And currently, camera's in the foot. Let's bring it up here. Which way is it facing? It's facing that way. I think, let's see, the player, I think, is going to be facing along this. That's a hard one. I think the player is going to be facing along this blue axis, so we might have to rotate the camera 90 degrees like that. Just make sure it's a reason exactly 90 to get it to be facing the right way. Okay, we don't have any lights, and the player isn't rotated quite right. Let's see, D is backward. So if D is backward, then we need to rotate 90 degrees like that, so that S would be... I think maybe we just shouldn't have rotated the camera. Let's try this again. We will add lighting, but yeah, here we go. Okay, so we have player movement. WASD to move the player around, and then it's just very dark because we don't have any lights. And Godot just provides lights in the editor so you can actually see what's going on. Light. We would like a directional light. And this is getting kind of messy, so I think maybe we create some groupings. So for example, we could have one for fences. Put all of the fences in it. We could have one for trees. Have something for the trees. Trees, and we'll put all of the trees in it. We could have one for props. We don't need to type props into the search bar. We can have one for props, and then we put all of the props in it. And then maybe last thing is we have one for buildings. And we put all of the buildings in. Okay, so it was just annoying me that we had to keep scrolling through all that crap. So the player needs the gravity is working, the player movement is working, but we may need camera movement, right? So you can actually look around, and then we also need lights, which we tried to add, so we'll see if it actually looks okay. Yeah, let's see if it actually looks okay. Handy hint, it doesn't. It looks terrible. Everything is kind of, well, we fell, but everything was kind of chopped off. Directional light, the directional light may be like straight sideways or something, because you get weird results if it's like straight sideways or straight down. So let's see what angle it's at. I'm having trouble seeing. Oh yeah, see here it's sideways. You can just barely see this arrow. We really need it to be a different color. So if we angle it, so you can see with the box, if we angle it so it's just angled, it's in some way or other, then it'll look much better generally. Okay, so it looks kind of terrible still. I think that there's something covering, because there's some giant green thing covering everything. And I'm not sure what it is, because I don't think it's the ground. Let's turn some stuff off. What if we turn off everything except for the ground and the player? Then it's very dark. We need the light, the ground, and the player. Okay, so it's possible that the ground is too high. But that shouldn't be the case, because the buildings, the ground is clearly not covering the buildings. Yeah, so I don't know what's up with that. Why is why are the buildings being covered? There's something inside, there's something related to us. Because you could see when we fell through the ground, the green thing, whatever it is still there. There's something green that's attached to the player that's hiding everything. Something attached to the player. What? How could we have something green attached to the player that's hiding everything? Seems very odd. Let's hide these rocks. Maybe we messed up something with the camera. No? Okay. It was one of the rocks. Something was happening with one of the rocks. But we don't need the rocks. They were just so we could see where it is in real space. We don't actually need them. I don't know why we have them. Let's remove the rocks. We don't need them anyway. And then let's add everything back in, and we should be able to see the beauty of our scene. Also, what were we standing on? What are we standing on here? Because, I believe that we turned off the... Oh, the ground is on. No, we turned off the static body, which is supposed to be our ground. See, I don't know what we were standing on if we turn that off. Because these sprites are not solid. There's something here. Something secret and green is here. And I don't know what it is. Or why it is here. What is this mysterious green thing? Could it be in the fencing? No. Could it be in the trees? No. Could it be in the props? Possibly. What are these other items in the props? Who knows? That is the bucket. Or not the bucket, the crate. Cancel. We have a crate. We have the tomato plant. And then we have the... What is that, a tomato? I don't know. Yeah, the single tomato. Probably don't really need, so let's get rid of it. Okay, so I don't know what the mysterious green thing is. This is very odd. Is it something environmental that's environmentalizing everything? We should definitely add an environment though. Hang on. World environment. Environment. New environment. Background. We do not want a clear color. We probably want a sky. And the sky will be a new sky, and a new sky will have a new physical sky material, and the new physical sky material will have some different parameters. Let's see. Should it be physical sky or should it be something else? Panorama sky. I think we can actually do a sky box somehow. Let's see. Yeah, if we select, yeah, we can do a skybox. Hang on. So if we look up a skybox, I forget. I think it's HDR Haven, maybe? HDRI Haven? Yeah, here we go. Free HDRI maps for everyone. Absolutely perfect. These are what we want. If we can grab one of these, we can use it as our sky. So since we have a low poly look, we probably want one that doesn't have a lot of stuff and is really just the sky. So let's grab that. We don't really need an 8K version. I think 2K should be more than sufficient. And then let's throw it in. Okay, it's as type HDR. I'm not sure if that's actually gonna work. Let's see what happens. While it imports, I'm gonna get some water. Did we succeed? Doesn't look like it. Looks like it imported though. Oh, we have 2 errors. Let's see. I think we can drag these in here somewhere. I'm not sure. Let's look it up. Skybox in Godot with texture. Let's see. Oh, looks like there's something on the asset library. That could be handy. The pictures aren't loading, but we can just trust it, you know. And see what we have found on the Google Web. let's see what happens. Okay, it keeps trying to I think we're gonna have to delete the HDR. I don't think it's I think it's getting stuck because it doesn't know what to do with it. So if we just search it up in the file browser, let's see, it was what? Lonely Road Afternoon. We want the one inside of the only one inventory slot game. We'll just go there and find her. We'll just delete it. Delete them both. The import file as well. Let's see. And then it refreshes. No more trying to import that. Okay. Now, meanwhile, we downloaded this, which looks pretty nice. So let's try to just throw one of these in. Ooh, Sky with Another Planet looks nice. What else is there? Oh, cartoon actually could be good because we have a low poly. Yeah, let's try Cartoon Night Sky. See what they've made for us here. Where did it put it? It has the strangest way of deciding where to put it. I do not know. Is it dark? It seems kind of dark. Maybe we should turn on the light. Hang on. There we go. Electricity. Okay. Yeah, I just wanted the real world to match that scene, but now that we're gonna light up the scene, I figure we should, you know, light up the real world as well. Where did that scene go? Oh, here it is. Okay. I'm not sure if it's gonna work if we didn't import the other stuff. Yeah, we need to import it all at once. What? Delete this. And then import, not Farmlight, all Sky free. Let's import this whole thing. That should do it. That should do it. Did it like it? Did not like it? You can also just do it in the file browser if it's annoying you, which it is annoying me, so I'll just do it in the file browser. So we have all Sky free here. We have the, let's see, what is it called? Only one inventory slot here. Oh, it just imported it. It imported it in here. Godot just hasn't realized it. Yeah, that's all. Godot, something has happened. You have had something imported. Now you must do something about it. Maybe if we just drag one of the files, it'll realize. No? It doesn't like it. I don't know. What if we opened something? We open one of these scenes. Well, it opened it and okay, it didn't even succeed in opening it fully. Maybe we just quit Godot, and then when we open it back up, it will realize what's going on. How's the music going, by the way, guys? Is it good? I do not hear it, so I have no idea what it's doing. It's kind of concerning. Test scene cannot have a dependency on test scene. That doesn't make any sense. What? Which of the dependencies are missing? It's nice. Okay, good. Working on Mac is dev hard mode. Yeah, Godot is actually pretty friendly, I'll say. Cross-platform friendly. It seems pretty nice. There's nothing broken. The dependencies are not broken. What is the problem? After all that hard work, you're gonna just ruin me like this? Disrespectful. Disrespectful. Let's try it on. Let's try. Was it in here before? It was in one of these folders. We'll just put it in one of them and see if it works. There we go. Alright, it's just gonna have to be in there. Godot has decreed it. Oh, we lost our progress. What happened? Yeah, wow. We definitely lost some progress because we're back to this nasty green thing. Alright, but at least we know what to do now. Let's try to wait. We have our progress because we put them in folders like this. We just, oh, the green thing is appearing now in here. What is it's the rock. See, I knew there was something shady about those rocks. Let's get rid of it. The rocks have clearly gone rogue, but we can add the ground, and now the green thing should be gone. So let's just go ahead and run it. And there we go. We're in pretty good shape. We can't turn. We need to add some camera controls. But our movement works nicely. And we definitely need to add fence collisions, and we need to add the ability to turn, because currently we're just, yeah, pretty sad. So the player script, we can just expand on this a little bit. Okay, so I'm gonna replace this input direction. I'm gonna call it move direction, and then I'm gonna create a variable called camera direction, and I'm gonna say input.get vector, and then we're gonna say cam left, cam right, cam up, cam down, and then we're just gonna create those. So if we go into our project settings, we just want to make that the mouse. Do cam left, for example. That was our first one. How do we add a mouse? Because it's not a mouse button. It's a mouse axis. Maybe if we do the joystick axis, it'll be the same. Let's see. If we select joystick axis 0, left joystick left. It sounds good. I'm not sure if it'll translate exactly to the mouse, but we'll see. Let's see. Joypad axis 0. We could also, hang on. Let's try this. I didn't actually have a mouse connected because I was using this trackpad, so since we want a mouse for testing probably anyway, we could try, let's see, cam right. Let's go ahead and add that, and then we will try moving the mouse. No, it still doesn't work. Okay. All right, we'll just try the joystick thing then, and we'll see if maybe the mouse is mapped to the same thing. Left stick right should be the cam right. All right, then cam up should be left stick up, joypad axes, left stick up. And then last but not least, cam down should be joypad axes, left stick down. Okay, let's see how that works. Let's actually just print it out, and then we'll see in the log how it seems to be moving in relation to the mouse or whatever. It doesn't move at all in relation to the mouse. So we're gonna have to look it up on Google. Close some tabs. Godot move camera with mouse. How do I make the camera move with the mouse? Get viewport, get mouse position. I'm not sure if that'll work because the mouse doesn't exactly... Okay, so if we... Hang on, this looks pretty useful. So if we use the built-in underscore input function, then it'll give us events based on the mouse, but based on the mouse motion. I've used input event mouse button before, but not mouse motion, so that seems useful. And then if we create like a camera, if we get a reference to the camera, let's see. So camera const camera equals get child, and then we will get the get child 1. So this is 0th child, this is child 1. So we'll get child 1. We'll make sure it knows it's a camera 3D. And then we will say camera.rotate Y. We're having an error. Let's see what the error is. So this function is presumably like a math function, so it would be like, let's see, Godot for convert degrees to radians. So we do have a function. They included a function for converting degrees to radians, and it seems to be a function that's not quite built in the same. Okay, so apparently for some reason in Godot 4 they renamed it to have underscores in between. I don't know why. It doesn't. I don't think that's worth it for compatibility issues like this. But there you go. No, that's also not it. Deg to they changed the word to 2. Okay. That might be enough. I don't know. Maybe that's enough. It's more reasonable like that. Okay, so basically what we're doing is we're gonna tell the camera to rotate on the y-axis according to the mouse event that we got. So however much the mouse moved on the x, right? So at side to side, however much the mouse moves side to side, we're gonna take that and we're gonna move the camera that much on the y-axis, so side to side, except we're gonna invert it so it's negative because presumably it's kind of backwards. And then we're going to multiply it by the mouse sensitivity so we can actually change the sensitivity because presumably it's a little bit too high normally, so we want it down at like a third. Then the second part is to rotate it on the X. We are going to do some shenanigans. Let's see what these shenanigans are. So change so we get the mouse's Y. We do the same thing here that we did with this. But instead of just directly setting the X to that, we only do it if it's within 50. It's if it's between negative 50 and 50. That's weird. Oh, so we're capping it. I see. We're capping it. Okay, so you can't go too high. You can't tilt all the way back. You can't tilt up and then go all the way back and around. That's what we're doing here. We're capping it, so you can only look so far down, you can only look so far up. That's what we're doing here. Okay. Let's... Oh, we forgot to actually assign the camera. No, we assigned the camera. Camera 3D equals to get child 1. Oh, wait, we need to actually... If you make it on ready, then it basically just puts this code into the setup function. It's just a little bit. But if you say camera equals camera 3D.getChild1, then it doesn't work. Okay, what on earth is this? This is very cursed. It is very, very wrong. It is horrible. And yeah. So, what have we done wrong? Let's just take it down to the one simple axis for now. And say, use the X position to rotate the camera on the Y axis. So use the side to side position to rotate it side to side. And that actually appears to work pretty much beautifully. We are noticing that the movement does not change with how we're looking, so that's kind of unfortunate, but the looking itself seems pretty solid. I think that the side to side looking is pretty good. Yeah, this seems to just be looking side to side. So we need to add the up and down without it breaking. So let's just try. I want to make this a little bit more symmetrical. So I'm going to say variable y movement equals that, and then we'll camera.rotate y movement, and then we're going to say x movement equals that. Okay, x movement, y movement equals this, sorry, and then we'll rotate it and we'll do the deg to rad degrees to radians inside of this. So then we can do the same thing here with rotating x movement, just to make it a little bit more symmetrical, so it's just a little bit more clear what's going on. And now let's see, whoa, because something very weird is going on with the x rotation. Yeah. And it's very, very weird. Let's not move on the y and see if maybe it's the interplay between the two that's actually messed up. Okay, it actually seems to be, yeah, it seems to be. It's only when the two are both happening that we get an issue, because here it's just regular innocent rotation, We can add this check back in, and I think it'll work. Let's see. To do this exact so basically whoever wrote this code had it set up so it doubled itself. Basically, x movement plus equals x movement, so it's just doubling itself, and then we can just call x movement if we only do the x movement if it's between -50 and +50. X movement if it doubled is between -50 and +50. Yeah, kind of weird. So we double the x movement. We check if it's between -50 and +50. So we basically move twice as fast. On there. It actually doesn't seem to work. The clamping doesn't seem to work. I think because we are. I think we're clamping how much it can move per frame, but we're not actually clamping the ultimate highest value and the ultimate lowest value. So yeah, it's not actually doing anything at all. I don't think. So, and then also there's the fact that when we combine both of these, it just gets absolutely cursed. Let's see. So oh, this is helpful as well, being able to set the capture the mouse, because currently our mouse is still flying around. So if we add a function underscore ready, which is just a function that gets called at the start, then we could tell the mouse to be sucked in. Okay, that also doesn't work. Set mouse mode, input mouse mode, capture. Yeah. Weird. Okay. So that did not work very well. This guy looks like he's taking it. What is this? This is the nodes. Okay. Okay, this is an example from the official documentation, so that's promising. This is not. Oh, this is. Okay, higher up. Okay, so basically, I think what's happening with ours that isn't working is that it's rotating. It's the whole thing with the quaternions and the rotation. It's all a mess. So if you rotate them both at the same time, then the rotator object can only, yeah, I don't fully understand it, but it can only go between a certain number of degrees, like 0 and 180. So then it has to, once it gets to 180, like switch to rotating the other two axes, because with two axes you can rotate it the same way as with one axis, the other single. I'm not going to try to understand it, but I think that we are doing a naive approach to rotation, and that if we do a different approach to rotation, then it will work better. We need to call this on camera.rotate object local by movement. This isn't quite right. Let's clone the whole setup. So basically, what they're doing here is they have two variables, rotation X and rotation Y. And these variables are being added to each time. So they fully reset the rotation of the object and then modify with this float value. So basically if it updated in between these two steps, if it updated right here, then you would see the camera snap back to center and then go to rotated position. Now hopefully it doesn't do that, So we go center and then rotated position, and you only see it going to the new rotated position. But basically, we're putting it back to the basis, the center, the regular position where the camera is just looking forward in the standard way. And yeah. And then rotating upon that. So we will see if that solves our problem. Now I think we should create, just go ahead and throw this in the script on the camera. I think that's what we should do. Camera controller. If this, we might as well put the mouse capturing in there too. Not that it's working, but whatever mouse capturing should probably happen in the camera script. And then we just need to copy these relevant variables over. Yeah, I think this should be in here. I think that's gonna help it be more clean and elegant. Let's see if that works. There we go. Okay, let's see if the camera works. Just moving it over to another script, so it would be, wow, it's way too much. It's like way too much. Way too much. So we can't even tell if it's like working because it's just so unbelievably big. So yeah, we just need to make it a lot smaller. I was gonna look to see if they had a variable in there that kind of showed us what their look around speed was, but maybe not. Okay, the y-axis is inverted, and so is the other axis. Both axes are inverted, so we're just gonna make both of these negative and invert them both back, and now we have a camera. We still don't move in the correct direction, but we do have looking arounding, which is very excellent. And we can also, are we still printing out something? Yeah, we can remove that. Okay, so we have looking around. Now we need to say move based on, instead of, currently we're moving based on the transform.basis. So basically if this is reset back to its original position, we move based on that. We don't want to move based on that. We want to move based on the camera's kind of transform. So I think we want to say camera.transform. Not sure if that'll work, but we definitely want to base it off of the camera's rotation. Our movement based off the camera's rotation. Nice. Now I'm a little bit worried that we'll go up. Okay, we don't even because of gravity. But if I think we go slower. We go slower if we look down or if we look up, because then part of our velocity is trying to go down or trying to go up. So that's not exactly desired. That's kind of interesting, but it's not exactly desired, so we probably shouldn't do that. Also, we shouldn't be able to probably whip the camera all the way around, so we should probably fix that. So two problems. We can whip the camera all the way around, and the rotation, the fact that we're using the camera's entire transform instead of just the camera's X and Y, I would say, or X and Z. We don't want to use the camera's Y transform. We don't want to use the fact that it's pointing up like in the Y axis. We want to fix that. So let's see. Base transform equals camera.transform, and then let's say base transform dot rotation. Base transform dot, how do we remove just one axis? We just want to remove the Y axis so that we don't worry about looking up and down. And then we'll use base transform right here. So how do we remove just the Y axis? We reset just the Y axis. Yeah, I don't know. It's like, yeah, if you think about it, if we're looking, yeah. I mean, the problem is pretty clear. If we're looking up like this, then the vector that we're trying to move in is up slightly, so it's not as fast as if we're looking straight like this, in which case our velocity is fully forward, so none of it is being wasted trying to get off the ground, which we can never do. You know what? Let's just call it a feature for now. We'll just say, oh yeah, it's definitely intentional, and if you look down, you know, you slow down, and like kind of like in real life. So yeah, it's obviously an intentional feature that if you look down or you look up, you slow down. So that's, I think, a handy feature that we've added. Now let's pick up this shovel. How can we pick up this shovel? Also, we have an error. I don't know. I don't know what the error is, so we'll forget about it. Okay, so anyway, aside from that, we also don't need a jump velocity variable because we're not using that. Okay, so we have a player controller, but we need the player to be able to pick up that shovel so that we can dig at the X marks the spot and get ourselves a key. Also, this window is annoyingly small, so let's change it, make it bigger. And we also need to figure out how to suck the mouse in so it's not like hanging out, which is kind of annoying. Window, let's make it 2000 by 2048 by, I don't know, 1024, I think is reasonable. Not sure. Okay, this is a very wide aspect ratio, but hey, it's at least it's big. Okay, so we want to be able to pick up this shovel. How can we do that? And we want it to be like manual, right? Because remember, the idea is you can only hold one thing. And if you can only hold one thing, we don't want you to just walk over this and then instantly get swapped out for whatever you're already holding. We'd like you to be able to choose what you want to hold. So if you point at something and press E, then it'll swap it out for whatever you're currently holding. So with that in mind, props, shovel. How can we pick up this shovel, which is currently stabbed into the ground? And probably not stabbed into the ground right here, because that would be a little bit too easy. So we will sneakily stab into the ground right behind this tree here. Here we go. It's just leaning against this tree for you to pick up. But it's very nice and subtle. I think that looks reasonable. Except for the fact that we just stabbed it into the tree. There we go. So there's a shovel sneakily leaning against this tree here that you can pick up and use to dig the X marks the spot. So this shovel, shovel. How do we pick it up is the question. And to do that, we probably need to do a raycast, right? So we need a laser beam out from where the player's viewpoint is, where the player's looking. We need a laser beam out from that. And then if it hits a shovel, then the player can pick up the shovel. Pretty straightforward, but not as straightforward as it sounds. So let's Google it. Godot raycast. Raycasting. Nice and easy. Actually, it does look pretty nice and easy. We get the world, and then we... This is 2D, so that's not going to help us as much. Okay. We get the world, and then we create a raycast parameter. Hopefully we can just do this in 3D with vector 3s, and then we run it with spacestate.intersectRay. That sounds about right. So let's try this 2D, and except we will just set it in 3D. So I think we need a function underscore input. I think we need to implement the input function so that we can say the input function takes in an event, and we can say if event is yeah, and then whatever event type we want. So in this case, we want a keyboard key some kind of key press event type of thing. I'm not sure exactly what. We want to check if it's like the E key or something like that. Or maybe the mouse down. Yeah, let's just try input event mouse button and event dot. Let's see. Forget that. Input event. We want input event mouse button dot something. That's actually, if we can just command click on it, then it'll open up the documentation for it. Very handy. Button index. There we go. So, and event dot button index is equal to 0. So if it's a left click, most standard click, the 0th type of click, then we will get world 3D dot direct space state. We'll use a physics ray query parameters 3D, and we'll create it with a vector 3. Going from, this is where we're going from, and then this is, I think, the direction we're going in. Could also be where we're going to. Okay, it's where we're going to. So where we're going from is the camera dot position, and where we're going to is camera dot position plus however the camera's facing. So camera dot transform times something. We need to create a vector, so we need to see how is the camera facing, and then we need to extrapolate a line out in that direction, some amount of space. Oh, they actually have an example here. Camera dot project ray normal. Mouse pause times ray length. Is that what we want? Not sure. Oh, we have a low battery warning. Quick technical intermission while we get things back in order. One moment. There. That was pretty. Back in order. Okay, so we need to figure out how to do this ray. I don't think that's quite what we want. We want the center of the camera. Here we go. It actually looks like they're doing this for us. Camera 3D dot project ray origin. Okay, it looks like they actually have it looks like the camera actually has two functions on it to do that. So we have the project ray origin, so that's just going to give us presumably the center of the camera at the center of the camera, and then this is going to give us the center of the camera at this center of the camera pointing forward, and then we'll multiply it by however long we want the ray to be, and then we'll add it to the original position so it's pointing in that direction and it's that far out. So if we set the ray length to like 1,000, then it'll be in that direction 1,000 out, so we can get a good long ray. And then it'll hit anything along its path. But we have an error, not camera 3D, because our variable is just called camera. Perfect. Okay, and then now that we have the result, whatever the result is, we need to check if result dot where was the result talking abouting? Here we go. So we can get the position of the result. So whatever the position is, we can get the collider. Here we go. We can get the object that was collided with. So we can say if result.collider, then print result.collider. in the future, if we actually have something hit, we'll check, let's say, if it's a shovel, and then we'll do whatever it needs to be done to pick up the shovel. We also need to say const ray length equals, and let's just do 100. So it shouldn't be too much performance difficulty. However, we are clicking the mouse button and we are not seeing any evidence of rays being printed. Let's temporarily remove the if statement. So we always get a print whenever this happens. What on earth? Okay, that time we started upside down. But even when we click our left mouse button, we're not getting anything. Even the other mouse buttons, we aren't really getting anything. So we aren't, I think we made a mistake somewhere in here. Let's just say if it's a mouse button event and forget the other things. Okay, there we go. Now it's printing out what we're hitting. So if we hit this tree, I don't think the tree has a collider, so that's probably the problem. I think we're always just hitting this plane. Except if we hit this ourselves, which we definitely don't want to do, so we might have to do something about that. What else is there? Where's the shovel? We hit it away too well for ourselves. I think it was that tree over there. Okay, so we may need to add a collider to the shovel. Because currently we're still just hitting the ground plane, I think. Like if we click over here, we're still just hitting the ground plane. So yeah, we need to add a collider to the shovel so we can actually pick it up. Let's see, shovel. Well, not exactly pick it up, but like so we can actually have the ray intersect with it. So let's go ahead and create a collision shape 3D. We'll just make it a nice, simple, probably a box. So we could maybe do a cylinder. No, a box probably makes more sense. Let's do a box. And then we will stretch it out to be the appropriate bounds for the shape. Looking good, looking good. There we go. One shovel. Maybe we actually do this one if we can. There we go. Okay. One shovel. Serves to provide a collision shape. Only use it as area 3D, static body 3D, rigid body 3D. Okay, I think we need to create a rigid body 3D and have the shovel object and the collision object both just be children of it. So the shovel is the visualization, the collision is, well, the collision. Please make it scale uniform. Absolutely not. I don't think we want to do that. Hopefully it works okay. We'll see. Okay, so this is now rigid body 3D. So now it's going to interact with physics. So now we actually have to place it so that it actually isn't clipping with anything. So I think if we put it here, then it'll hopefully fall into place naturally. Maybe we tilt it back a little bit. Just try to make sure. Let's see what happens. We'll see if it falls over if we've balanced it well enough. No, it's that tree over there. It is now inside of the tree. Very, I would say that's, that's pretty realistic. Okay, so if we take a look, see if we can point at it. I don't know exactly where the center of the screen is. But we don't seem to exactly be getting it. But either way, it's clearly not quite what we're looking for. And they did warn us that changing the scale of it non-uniformly wouldn't necessarily work very well. So we may have to go for a different shape. What about a convex polygon shape? How do we edit this convex polygon shape? Maybe not that then, if that doesn't work. Maybe we just go back to a cylinder. Let's see. This is much too big, so we will make it narrower. We'll bring this down. And that's, it's definitely a very generous collider, but we don't need to be too precise here, so, hopefully, okay, it's too big, it's too big. We need to make it narrower, 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 narrower. And that feels a little bit too small, I don't know. That's the problem with the cylinder. Yeah, I mean, I don't like it, but I think that's what we'll have to do, just about. Maybe pull it back a little bit. See if it works. Okay. It is the one over there, and look, our shovel actually stood. Okay, never mind. The shovel has gone rogue again. Oh, and it doesn't like us anyway. Oh, what? Dude, what? How are these collision shapes useful if you can't even do that? I don't understand. Okay, well that's kind of annoying. I'm not sure how to use one of these convex polygon shapes. Let's see. So we have a point here. Say we move it down. What the heck? I moved it down. Okay. Say we move it here. Down here. Over here. So it's just like that. Oh my goodness. This is why I hate things like this. It's really hard to get them to actually where you want them. Okay, let's say that's good enough. Then we duplicate. Okay, we just apparently moved the whole collider, but that's okay. Then how are we supposed to move this? That's the problem. Yeah, this is not gonna work. We need a solution. What are we gonna do? Capsule. I don't know. It didn't let us change the shape of the cylinder though, so I'm not sure what it wants us to do. All right, let's make a capsule that's just kind of the core part of it, and then see what happens. Does it hate us? Yeah, it does. How are these things useful if you can't? Oh, is this the problem? Why is it even scaled like that? I don't know. Maybe that was the problem all along? I don't know why it was scaled like that, but maybe that was the problem. Hopefully that was the problem. Can you go? No, that wasn't the problem. That was the position, not the scaling anyway. Yeah, the scaling is the same. The only thing that's different is the radius and the height, and surely we are allowed to change those. I can imagine you can't change those. I mean, what? Maybe it's somewhere higher up the chain. Scale 111. Scale 111. What? How is the shape not? How is the scale not uniform? It's uniform. It's 111. What? Am I going mad? I don't know. Let's see what happens. Okay, it's gone. Okay. We need to not use a rigid body, I think. Even if we don't have a rigid body, if we have an area 3D perhaps, and then inside of that a collision shape 3D, and we add a new box shape, then it won't simulate physics, but it will still be able to be hit by the raycasts. Because we don't really need simulating physics, that's kind of a luxury. We shrink this in. So far it doesn't giving us a warning yet. Okay. Okay, no warnings. Let's see what happens. We're upside down again for some reason. Okay, this is very, very, very terrible. What did we create? So we have the log down there. You can hopefully see the little edge of it. Okay, so that's currently not working, but also, what on earth is going on? We need to capture the mouse. I think that's part of the problem. What if we put it in underscore, what is it, process? So that every single frame, it tells it to capture the mouse, or else, okay, mouse is now captured, but now mouse can't work. So that's useless. Yeah, so that's really useless. And also we have no way out of it. So that's kind of wonderful. Oh, we're still stuck over here. We're stuck everywhere. It's the whole thing. It's just taken over. Well, that's charming. Godot, sorry, but it's over for you. You have been forced quit. Okay, so now that we've escaped, it was not unexpected. Sorry to tell you, macOS, but it was definitely not unexpected. So that's something very special. So why didn't it capture it that nicely before? Let's see. It's a little weird because this function doesn't show up on autocomplete, but I don't know. Okay, set mouse mode controls the mouse mode. See mouse mode for more information. All right, so what are the options? Visible, hidden, captured. Okay, well, it's not, this isn't working correctly then because it's not actually hidden. Confined to make it visible. Confined, hidden, confine it to the game window and make it hidden. I think this is what we want. Confined, hidden. It's confined to the game window and it's also hidden. Oh, we were setting both. Oh, that's the problem. I was saying set it to captured, set it to visible, set it to captured, set it to visible. So that could kind of be a problem. Okay, so let's put this confined hidden in the ready function. See if that works. Of course, we need to add pass so that it knows that it's not just a mistake. Okay. So now we can only rotate so much because then we hit the edge of the window. What are the other options? Hidden, mouse mode hidden. What about just regular hidden? There we go, just regular hidden. You can go all the way around. You look all the way around and everything is perfect. And then we just need to add a way out. Because currently you can't get out, so you just have to, command tab over to your other application. So let's say if input put, we can just add a custom keybind in project settings, project settings, input map, add new action. Let's just call it menu, add it, escape key. Okay, and then in process, we can say if input dot get action, get action strength, menu is equal to, is greater than 0. So if it's pressed, then we're gonna print quit, and then we're gonna quit the application. Which I do not know how to do, so we will of course Google it. Godot quit app. Gittree.quit. Perfect. Okay, let's see if this works. Perfect. Excellent. So you can just press escape and it will immediately quit. All right, kind of harsh, but maybe we'll add a menu later, but probably not because it's a game jam, and so we have very limited time. There are some other concerns with the camera system, though, while we're on it, because if we boot up the game, sometimes we're like regular and centered. Other times we're upside down, and I think it's because if I leave my mouse exactly on this play button, oh, it's normal and centered. Everything's wonderful. But if I hit play and then bring my mouse down to the, it's fine. But if I hit play and slowly drag, okay. So the problem is that if you're moving your mouse, like if I'm jittering it around, and then the game starts, then I could potentially be in a weird angle like this or like this. But I don't think that'll be a problem for actual players because they won't be hitting a play button and then doing it. They'll just be starting the game. So yeah, I don't think it'll be a problem for them. So we'll ignore that. Movement seems like a decent speed. We're walking around. I think we need a crosshair so you can tell what you're pointing at so we can actually pick things up. And I'm not entirely sure that the raycast is working at this point because we don't seem to be able to hit anything other than the ground, which the ground is one of the main colliders, but we don't seem to be able to hit the shovel. So yeah. We definitely need to be able to hit the shovel. And yeah, so let's add a crosshair just to make sure it's, how can we add a crosshair? It's actually an interesting question. Godot 3D add crosshair. Okay. That's asking for a raycast, which we supposedly already have. A crosshair. We need to add a crosshair. Center container. Okay, sounds good. Canvas item. Okay, so we need to add presumably a canvas layer. Yeah, canvas layer. There we go. And then inside of that, let's add a color rect. So it will just be a little white square, and then we'll put it in the center of the center, and it seems a bit big. So we'll make it small. Where's transform? These things are always so confusing. Okay, here we go. 0.2. And then we have to center it again. Center. Okay, let's see what happens. The canvas layer is not showing up. It is still not showing up. Let's see what the debugger has to say. Still just that same error. So Godot add canvas layer to 3D project. How do we add this? I think we have to connect it to the camera somehow, maybe. Using the 3D camera with canvas mode. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Okay. Custom sky. I thought I should use canvas. say, I don't know, what does the camera have to say? Environment, attributes. It's not what we're looking for. Maybe it's not there. Let's see. Layer 2. Lower values are drawn behind higher values. There we go. So if we make it a high value, then it gets drawn above everything else. Follow viewport on enabled. Okay, that I think is what we're looking for. Alternatively, it might not be. Have that in the middle of the screen. Maybe it's too small to see or something. Put it back to full size. Put it back to big size. 100. What the heck? Where can we see it? It's 100. Oh, it had no size. What? Why did it have 0 size? I don't know. Let's center it again by uncentering it and then centering it and see maybe now it will appear. Ah, there it is in the center. It's just very, very, very small. Dude, I hate how it doesn't recenter. So you have to just... What can we do? Can we change it? The mode or something? I don't know. It's annoying though. So every time you change the scale, it resets these back to 0? I don't know. This UI system is actually whack. So every time you change the positioning, it resets it back to 0. So you can't center it? What? How? You have to just manually do it? Okay, sure. Whatever. Are you happy now, Godot? Okay, we have an objectively terrible crosshair now. So let's make it a little bit nicer. What is going? Why does it move when you pull it? Does anybody do UI in Godot? Because this is objectively the strangest UI system I've ever used. I thought Unity's UI system was weird, but this is something else. All right, tell me we can rotate this. Excellent. Of course, it rotates by randomly selecting a corner to rotate by. Okay, we now have an X little crosshair for you. Is that even centered? It's centered. No, it's not. No, it's definitely 507. Okay. That is definitely not right. It's 580. I think. Let's take a look. There we go. It's kind of cute. We got a little tiny white crosshair, but now that tells us what we're pointing at, which is important because we need to be able to... What the heck? What the heck? What was that? So we need to be able to see what we're pointing at, which should be in Area 3D, but it is not. It's just a static body 3D. Okay, so somehow now if your mouse still goes beyond, then you can still click on other things. That is very, very strange. But it's only... No, it's literally everywhere. So if you literally... Your mouse is still being simulated. It's like right now my mouse is over here. So if I were to have clicked right then with my mouse up here in this top right corner, it would have just clicked over there. Like that. This is just completely, I don't even know. But the point is, we have our little crosshair. We can look around, we can move around, so that's all excellent. But we just, and yeah, we're really just waiting to be able to click on things. Aside from the computer interface, which we do not want to be able to click on. So for now, we're just going to set the size of the window to be the size of the screen, which is like 3500 by 2200 or something like that. Yeah, there we go. Nice full screen gaming experience. Okay, so we also now do not have a log, so that's kind of annoying. But we can surely have some text or something on the screen to show the thing, or simply look at the log after. Either way, we need to figure out why we're only ever hitting this this ground static body 3D. That's the only thing we're ever hitting. So let's try, first off, duplicating that static body and then changing its collision shape to a different collision shape. Where is its collision shape? Where are its little handles to drag around? Very weird. I don't know. Maybe we need to make a different collision shape. What? What? It's tiny. Are you guys seeing this? The collision shape that was supposed to be the ground is just tiny. This is the collision shape that was allegedly the ground, so it's not this. This is... What's the ground? Is this actually ground? I don't know, guys. I think we've like entered a 20th dimension or something like this. This is weird. Okay, so static body, whatever it is that's the ground, is static body 2858 something or other. Starts with 2858. Question is, what is it? What is it? Because it can't be these ground objects, because they're showing us the ground, because they're just sprites. And also, we wouldn't be falling through them at some point if it was them. So it's not them. So it can't be the directional light. Let's try deleting this static body just to make sure it's not that. Okay, it was that. So the static body does not care if you deactivate it. It will still come back. It will still be considered somehow. Okay, so it was the static body. And the collision shape 3D is back now. I don't know what was wrong with it, but it's back. So if we duplicate the static body 3D, all right, so this is the actual ground collider. Ground visuals. Okay, and this new one is our little test. And this test, we're going to just make a smaller collider. Okay, and then we'll just bring it over here. Make a random little invisible wall. And now if we are pointing at that, then we should get something out. What the heck? So just to be clear, we still... I'm gonna move it over here. So just to be clear, we did not change the ground collider. Never mind, we did. It is somehow linked. I forgot about this. So in Godot, if you duplicate something, it's still linked. So something like a collider, if you, hypothetically speaking, were to duplicate it, both colliders would still be connected. So if you move the handle on one, you move the handle on other. See? So if you want to move one of them and have them not be the same reference, then you have to click Make Unique. And then you can move the handle on one without moving the handle on the other. It is very annoying. All right, let's hop back in. So this is where the invisible wall is, somewhere over here. Maybe, perhaps not. bring the invisible wall a bit closer. We have the ground, we have the invisible wall. So when we're pointing at the invisible wall, we should be able to walk into it. But for some reason, we aren't. I don't know. So we should get one print message of one thing when we're pointing at the ground and clicking. And we should get a different one when we're pointing over this way at the invisible wall and clicking. And sure enough, we do. So that much seems to be working. Now, So the only question that remains is why the prop one, the shovel one, isn't working. Because we have an area 3D with a collision shape, and this thing never gets registered at all. So perhaps it is something is happening to it. Let's take a look. If we go back into Godot's main editor and we go into the remote side of things, this is the positions and everything of all of the objects in the world. So we can take a look at the area 3D in the world, and we can see it didn't seem to have moved. Interesting. Yeah, so something's wrong there. Definitely pointing at it. Is there a way to make the collider show up in the game? Let's see, disabled, rotation, visible. How do we make it? Ray pickable is on, so that's good. Capture on drag. Sure, sounds good. Yeah, so how do we make this visible in the game? Doesn't seem to be a way to do that. Let's try just duplicating this and then instead having it be a static body. Maybe there's something wrong with the area 3D setup. So we'll do a static body with the exact same collision shape. Let's see if that registers anything. So ground, that thingy, the invisible wall, ground again, hopefully shovel. No, we're still just getting the 286, which I think is the ground, and then this other one, which is the wall. Just to verify that, we'll do 1, 2 clicks in the wall, 1, 2 clicks the ground. They seem to be double registering, so we got 4 clicks wall, 4 clicks ground, but still. 28,437 is the wall, 28,605 is the ground. So no shovel registering. Question is why? What is wrong with this one static body? I mean, it has a collision shape with a box shaped 3D. The exact same as this. Static body 3D, collision shape 3D, static body 3D, collision shape 3D. Why is it different? And its position is for the static body 3D, we have 205, and for this one we have basically all zeros. So let's make sure it doesn't move. It's not getting away somehow. Remote static body 3D, 205, basically all zeros. Yeah, so it's because it's not moving. It's just not registering. There's something about it that it just doesn't want to get picked up. I don't know, maybe we're like too close? What is the difference between the ground one and that one? I don't know. I mean, there really isn't any difference. It's a static body, the collision shape. Unless it's like too small. In which case, it's plenty big now. Let's walk over. It's not that one. It's this one. There we go. I'm walking into it. You can see I'm walking into it right now. So let's click it. Click, click, click. Click, 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 click. It's clearly very large and very collidable. And yet, ground, a bunch of clicks on the ground, and then clicks on this. Aha, we have clicks on it. The 28, it's very similar, but instead of ending in 533, it ends in 469. So what if we undo these back down to the regular? I want it to be the one ending in 469. Does the number change? I think the number changes, dang it. We need to know its name. Result.collider.name? Let's see. Maybe it'll work. No, it's just static body 3. Oh, well, because it's... Well, no. The ground is static body 3D, so it is doing the name now. This needs to be called ground collider. This needs to be called invisible wall. And this needs to be called shovel. So the invisible wall is somewhere over there, so we should be hitting it now. Then we have the ground down here, we should be hitting. Then we have the shovel, which doesn't seem to be able to be hit. This should definitely be hitting it. We hit player a couple times with the ground collider, and that's it. No shovel. Not at all. And if we scale it up, though, then it seems to work. Not scaling it up like that, just scaling it up with the collision shape, scaling up the collision shape with its little handles. To make it just a long, skinny wall like that, let's see what happens. Should be able to feel it. Yep, that's us walking into the wall. So the wall is definitely there. See if we can get a diagonal across it, kind of a thing. So it's more likely to hit. No, nothing. Oh, something. It's hitting the shovel and then the ground collider. No, it's not. No, it's not. Because then it would be interspersed. If it was hitting one and then one, it would be interspersed. So we got several hits on the shovel, and then it started being ground collider hits again. Why? But hey, at least we got a hit on the shovel. Okay, so let's... Okay, we gotta resize this stupid window again in project settings. It is... I don't know what Godot is doing where it has... where it allows you to the invisible mouse to go off screen and then haunt you forever. That's kind of odd, but I've never had that happen before in like a different game engine, so I don't know. I think that's something weird. I would like it also to be in the corner. Okay, sure. We'll put it in the top left corner. Sure, that's fine. That is not in the top left. Okay, so instead, let's say in escape, so we have it so that you can click escape to quit. Instead of quitting, we'll set the mouse mode to mouse mode visible. And if it's, if you click the mouse, sorry about that, if input is input event mouse button, then you'll be able to mouse mode hidden. So we can press escape to free the mouse. We can click to get sucked back in, which means that we can position this over here and we can see the log. So ground, 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 ground. Sure, that's all well and good. If we point over that way, we should. Dang it. It's so annoying. If we point. So that there's like, it's just not even. I don't. Okay, we're hitting the player for some reason. So it's ground collider there, but if you look out straight, then it's player. And if you look down, then it allows it through. What the heck? So I mean, we're clearly walking into the shovel there. Like we walk along, and now we're running into the shovel. So the shovel is clearly there, but it doesn't get hit. And the invisible wall is somehow getting hit. What on earth? We need to draw this right. We need to draw this right. That's the problem. Godot, draw right. If we can draw this right, we can see what's going on and we'll be fine. Absolutely fine. We just need to draw the ray. I don't want to do that. I mean, like, we'll get there, but, like, this is kind of the difference between, like, Unreal and, like, Godot, right? An engine like Unreal or Unity has, like, they're just going to have a function to draw a line and to do a nice raycast and all these different things. And Godot has raycasting, right? But it doesn't have a function to just draw a line. So that's kind of the difference between where an engine like Unreal or Unity is at, where it's got, if you just have like a general thing that's generally useful for game development, Unreal will probably have that. Unity will probably have that. Godot might or might not, because it's still kind of a work in progress. So that's kind of what you have to take if you're working in Godot. You're not going to have all the handy things, which is annoying. But what we can do is we can just do it ourselves. So if we just create a couple of little blocks, let's make some area 3. Shoot, let's just grab a couple of assets. There we go. There we go. We're gonna have a couple of crates. And we're going to put these at the start and end of the ray. So, let's see. After we cast a ray, we're going to say get child 2.position equals from, because that's where the ray started. And then get child 3.position equals result.position. There we go. So now we're going to theoretically teleport our crates to the positions, but that doesn't seem to be working. Global position equals from. Hopefully that is a global position that we're getting there. Okay, let's see. So intersect ray. The returned object is a dictionary with the following fields: a collider, position, the intersection point. Okay, yeah. So hopefully we set the first box to be at that position, and we set the second box to be at the other position. Let's see if it works. There we go. See, bing, bing. They're still attached to us, which is a little weird. But like, if we don't move, that's where it thinks it hit. That actually, is that right? Hang on. We may have done a dumb thing by using these because I think their origin. Oh no, their origin is there. Okay, cool. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Right, so we have these two guys, and I'm gonna move them outside of this and just do references to them. But we'll just use these little crates. At export variable start, which is going to be node 3D. Because I don't know what type it is, but it's surely derived from Node 3D. Okay, so as our little experiment, we just threw that together. Now, boom, we have a crate. That's where the raycast started, and oh my goodness. And that's where the raycast ended. So clearly, it's not going in the right direction. Not even remotely. We definitely should have done this before, because that was just dumb. First thing we should do is visualize. Okay, this is really annoying me. The fact that we can't just have the mouse stay inside of the thing, and if we use the mouse mode that stays inside of the thing, then we can't keep rotating when we hit the edge. Like, what? Why? I don't know. We'll just go back to full screen. Whatever. I'm not happy with Godot right now, though. What am I looking for? Project settings, right? Window. 3500. Okay. So this is where it started, and that was where so it ended a bit below where we're looking for. It ended definitely, yeah, so I don't know where it thinks it's going, but it's not where we're asking it to go. You can also see sometimes it ends up kind of in my head, in which case it seems to be hitting the player object. Like here, it seems to have hit the player object. So that's a problem. But the main problem is it just isn't where I'm pointing. This is the center of the screen, and that thing is going anywhere but that. So that is very weird. Camera control. Not camera control. It was in player movement. Okay. So the from position is fine, because this start crate is fine. But the to crate is doing something wrong. Like, very wrong. And I don't know what it is. Godot raycast from camera center. Oh. We don't want the event opposition. The event opposition means that wherever we click is where the crate goes. We don't want the click. We want, whenever it's a click, it to be the center of the screen. So we need to say vector 2, and then Dude, the stream is like almost over. You're very extremely late. Okay, let's see. Get viewport dot width size, give viewport dot size dot x divided by 2, give viewport dot size dot y divided by 2. No, dude, you cannot blame it on me this time. Okay, last time I forgot to put it in the Discord. This time I put it in the Discord. You really can't blame me. All right, so now it's going out from the center, and there we go. So that was potentially the root of all of our problems. Who knows? Maybe now we will be logging the shovel. Still not sure. I feel like it should be in front of the shovel. Yeah, we're still not hitting the shovel. It's definitely going through the shovel. Maybe it's too thin. I don't know how we changed the precision on this raycast also. So it could also just be like a bad, not very precise raycast. Okay, so say we make the shovel even more ginormous. Because currently it's very wide, but still very thin, because I wanted to keep it thin to see if I could get it working with it thin. But let's say we make it thick, and see if that's the problem. Thick shovel. It still goes right through. Still goes right through. We can't go through, of course. This is us walking into the shovel, because the shovel is ginormous, collision-wise. But this thing can just go right through. So yeah, that's kind of not good. I don't think I want to know what you're going to say, because I'm pretty sure it's not going to be easy, fun. Dude, I have an environment. I literally have a beautiful environment that does absolutely nothing. Also, currently we're fighting with the shovel, which we have probably been doing for like an hour or something. Just fighting with the shovel. The shovel is very antagonistic. Okay, so Invisible Wall, I believe, works as well. Can check. Invisible Wall is over there. Okay, we're hitting ourselves. We need to figure out how to get Godot to ignore the player who's actually sending out the raycasts. It should probably do that by default, but it doesn't. So we may have to change the collision channels or something. Yeah, we were trying to add a skybox, and then we got distracted actually making game features. So yeah. Alright. Raycast exclude all things would only collide with one particular body. Okay, we kind of want the opposite of that, but... intersect ray also takes in a collision mask. Okay. Let's see. Is this true? Parameters. Physics ray parameters 3D. Query dot collide with areas equals true. Query dot collision mask equals I don't know, this thing's collision mask. And then we could set the, what is the player? So we could set the players, oh, we want it to not be this thing's collision mask. Because we wanted to ignore this thing. Let's see. Okay, for now, let's forget this and then just print this thing's collision mask so we can see what it looks like. Okay. Nope, so it goes right through. So our little Boolean setting didn't work. But we didn't really expect it. Okay, so it's 1. But what if we change it to this? Okay, well now we fell through the ground, but that's fine. Now it's 2. So let's just set query.collision mask to 2. So that it ignores everything on layer 1, which is going to be the player and the ground, because we hate the ground. We don't want it to keep reading the ground, because the ground is annoying. And then we will put the shovel and its collision shape on layer 2. Boop. Put on 1 and 2 so it can be collide with the player and also be raycast. That sounds reasonable. No, we are making a escape the room, but on a farm. Okay, let's say if result, if, what is it? Collider in result. There we go. So now we have to actually check if it hit something, because now it doesn't just always hit the ground by default. So now it's not hitting anything, but hey, might hit this. Or it might not. Exactly. It'll be nice and scary. It'll be very terrifying. I mean, it looks very creepy. I mean, the sky is completely black. I feel like that makes it pretty scary. Okay, but yeah, I think as far as tonight's stream goes, we might have to call it there. The stream ends next Wednesday at 10 a.m. So we couldn't have another standard stream time before the game jam ends, but I might try to squeeze one in maybe next Monday or something like that. We could squeeze in an extra stream so that we can finish our game. But yeah, this has been us attempting to make a game for the Captain Coder Game Jam. So we'll hopefully finish it up. I definitely encourage you guys to make games for this game jam because it looks really cool. There's like prizes and stuff too. But yeah, that's all for tonight. Yeah, have a good night.